live on all the channels. We're
Woohoo!
doing it. We're here with Lana Kirtley. I'm so excited. My sister north of the border, Lana, the amazing, the marvelous, the stick it through to the end, most perseverance, most stamina, most powerful perspective, and straight from the heartland. So that's why we talk the same talk. Lana, a fabulous health coach, and helps people bust stress. And that's why we agree on so many different conversations. We just come at it sometimes in different ways. We help people at different stages of the journey. And I am thrilled to have Lana here with me live today because she has got some great stuff in store for you. But first, Lana, tell me what's going on with you lately. What is new? How is life treating you? Are you staying warm?
Well, yes, you're down in the California south, like really close to the Mexicano border, and I'm north of the 49th, about halfway between the 49th and whatever the border is up to the Yukon and Alaska and all that. So yeah, a little over, a little over halfway up the Alberta. We're doing good. We're above temps today. It's beautiful. We got sunny skies, but we've had our killer frost, and the leaves are off, and it's all good. And I went and bought a pumpkin pie the other day because I couldn't be bothered to make. I didn't have pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, and
Right,
so I'm
you
kind of
guys have
like,
had that already. We're mid Thanksgiving. We're gratitude season, I've called it now. It's like a 3-week season. We should just start and all the pumpkin pie we can eat for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I love pumpkin pie. I don't like the pumpkin other spice stuff, but I love pumpkin pie. So I'm getting my vegetables in right now with a little bit of egg and a little bit of sugar. No, just a little bit, just whatever they put in. So it's good.
And you've got your greenie babies growing in the kitchen too. You're farming even in the off season.
I am. My just vertical little hydroponic then. I thought I had a green thumb. I've struggled with this. I've struggled with this machine only because it's very different than growing something outside. But now that I've figured out the value of water, I knew that the value of water was super important, but had never tested the town water system. And OMG. So I went invested in some other water, and they're doing better, but they're not doing great. So between two different friends, I went and got well water that was basically untouched, or river water. And now the little buggers are happy. I'm having lettuce leaves on all my sandwiches now. I've got basil to go with my tomatoes later on today.
Goodness, you're already eating your harvest. I'm so excited. I'm going to go look for photos on your newsfeed and get the progress reports, because I know you've been patient with your little green babies trying to figure out what's the magic sauce. But it really does speak to what's in our water, what's in our air, what is all around us, and it all adds up, doesn't it?
And I talk really sweet to them. There's been a couple of times I'm like, come on, little buddies, you can do this. Rah, rah, 6 boom. Like, oh my God.
I can't wait to eat you.
Yeah, exactly. And then I say my gratitude as I pick a couple of leaves off. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. This is lovely. So anyways, that's some of the stuff that's going on in my life. And thank you for asking. But it's part of the balance. It's part of finding that balance. We were talking offline that I have moved my office from down in the basement, which was not a dark corner, but definitely not as bright and light as this corner. I mean, I'm in the corner. I got windows on both sides of me, and I'm making that transition. But that, over and above being online entrepreneurs, over and above, this time in terms of we've gone through 2 elections here in Canada and here in Alberta over the last month, basically now. And I get the feelings of overwhelm. I understand them. I've been there before. I am just coming through the thick of it now it is the blessings of community that has helped me, that supports me. And I want everybody to understand that this is our health, and our journeys are not a one and done. They are journeys. They are absolute. And I really appreciate that in the fact, and that's part of me building my community. I know your community in terms of, you had used the word empathy, and I appreciate that, that we will stumble because life happens, and it happens from a different place from where it was 2 years ago or 6 months ago or whatever. And community is absolute within that process. And that's why I'm doing a series of workshops coming up soon. So super excited.
And I can't wait to hear all about those. It's just making me think of how aptly named your business is, Empowering Health Journeys, because it's not about the destination. It is about the journey and honoring our place where we are. And empowerment is a huge part of my mission and my soapbox that I'm up here yelling out to people. We get to take back control. We get to empower ourselves. It's not about finding someone who's the guru or the latest hot thing and handing over our opinion and saying, well, they say this is what I should be doing. It's empowering ourselves to tune in and to see what's working and what's not.
Yep. Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Susie. You have great words and insight into it. It's a fact of taking in pieces of information and understanding how they sit and settle and whether that resonates, and then having the support system via your coaching, my coaching, somebody's coaching, versus alone in the middle of the kitchen being overwhelmed.
How many of us can relate to those kitchen table moments, right?
Right, exactly. Or that sand in the middle of the kitchen or the living room, and that feeling of just the abyss, just falling into the middle of the hole and the overwhelm. And it is a case of empowering. It is a case of, this is your health, this is your journey. Understand it and own it, and do not give that away to someone else. Take counsel, but decide what really resonates with you. And, it's kind of like taking your car to, the sound has changed in your vehicle, and your hubby's a vehicle guy, and I know that. But it's a case of saying something's not right, or I've got probably a better one, is researching tires when you want to put new tires on your vehicle. Is what kind of journey am I on? What kind of roads am I going to be on? What kind of weather conditions I'm going to be on? What can I financially justify, afford, yada, yada. That's the same thing with our health journeys, is what kind of tires? What do I need? What possibly is coming at me, or what has happened? And that's all part of this, is consult and then stand back and say, okay, what's resonating, and community support in that process.
Yes. And I love that. I love that analogy. It's perfect, because I think we tend to not recognize there are a lot of different factors that we get to take into account. Not everything is always the best thing I can possibly do for myself. It's how much time do I have to put into it, and what is my budget? Right now I have a different priority. So this is what I can commit to, because commit to what you can follow through is a lot more powerful and rewarding than try to commit to too much and then get frustrated and lose confidence in yourself when you fall off. And I know you speak to that beautifully too.
Yes, because we are going to stumble. So you might as well pick strategies that you think you can do, knowing that there's support, and that as that strategy becomes more natural or eases into place, it's like, okay, I can do something more, knowing that there will be events where we slide backwards. And so we will have the tools to pick up and carry on.
So tell us now, because I've interrupted you enough times.
It's so good. No, I
Tell us
love
all
this.
about what is coming up down the line, because I am super excited about what you are ready to share, to kind of reveal the cover, to let people in on some basic, powerful truths.
Yeah. So what I've got going on is a series of workshops. And the reason why I call it a series is pick a date, time. So I've got 3 on offer at this point in time. They're all the same workshop, fundamentally. And thank you. 3 different dates, times, hopefully to be able to accommodate more individuals in their schedule. Fundamentally, it's about finding 3 opportunities to start to make changes so that we can have the healthiest holidays. keep it simple, Lana. I should have done more tongue twisters before we come online. The healthiest holidays we can have. These are challenging times. We can step into those challenges with grace and ease. And so these workshops are about, we're going to talk about some easy ways to manage the sugars in our diet. I just confessed to the pumpkin pie. We're going to talk a little bit about simple carbs and complex carbs. We're going to talk about sleep. Mm-hmm. Sleep is foundational. So we're going to talk about sleep and figuring that out, and some strategies that somebody can walk away from that workshop and have 3 strategies for their sleep improvements that they could actually start probably that evening or that day. Not tomorrow, not next week. You can start today. You can walk away from the workshop with that. And then I've got 3 little bonuses, or 1 bonus, 3 components again. I'm working in 3s here. And so the 3 micronutrients, or 3 nutrients that we should be very cognizant of getting into our diet and managing within our diet. So it's a case of sugars, carbs, sleep, and 3 micronutrients. And it's a 90-minute workshop. We're going to get after it. We're going to hustle hard. And I'm inviting everybody to come. It's free. It's free. And free. Now I see rhymes there.
That's why you keep coming back to the 3s. Well, and I think that's what I really want people to understand. Like, it's a workshop. There's powerful information you can learn about, apply right away. It's not about, oh, I need to order this and wait for it to come in. Oh, you can start to pay more attention to the food that we're putting into our mouth while we're mindlessly still working in front of the computer every day, lunch at the computer. Let's get inspired and to make some changes, some shift happen.
Yep.
And sleep. And that's something that I keep coming back to too. It's not exciting. It's not sexy, but it's just such a powerful place to start. If you're feeling fatigued, if you've got the brain fog, obviously there's other things that can add into that. And that's why I love your comprehensive approach, these micronutrients. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to find out what those are, but I'm sure help to keep your energy and your focus, and probably support sleep too. I mean, it's all connected. This isn't just hippie stuff we like to carry on about. No. Little changes start to move the needle, and we see it reflected in other areas of life too. So,
yeah, that's right. And that's for both of us in this journey, then it's doable. What is very easily doable. Once you are aware of those shifts, what can you take away? What can you implement very quickly? And the reality is that I'm not, at this stage of the game, I'm not advocating any fancy pieces of equipment. This is just quick changes, quick wins. And the quick wins build upon the confidence for bigger, what some might perceive as tougher, when it's not really tougher. It's just looking at it from the perspective of, okay, I could do that, then I can do this. And those quick wins build upon our confidence to make more shifts that will come with grace and ease.
Mm-hmm. Right? With less force and more flow.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's really important because we do tend to get into this mindset, or we see or hear something that says, if you're not going to make a radical shift, it's not worth it. But I love that you and I are so aligned in that philosophy, in that small changes are really what add up. They're sustainable. They make a bigger difference than you think that they will,
Yeah.
because with that little shift, you have a little bit more energy, a little bit more bandwidth to bring in another shift down the line.
Yep. Yep. Well, it's kind of like, if you're talking about meditations, and you had done an event the other day, your slides. So, and sorry, I can't remember the name of them now, but the fact that, okay, I've only got 5 minutes, or I can only justify 5 minutes. I can speed up that slideshow, that PowerPoint, that video, to manage my 5-minute time window. Oh, wait. Oh, I really love how that feels. So now I can pull out, I can justify a 15-minute break with a cup of tea and watch the video. But just little bites, little bites, little wins, little wins. And some people go, oh, well, if it's not big, then it's not awesome. Some of us can't do that. Some of us, it's too much to take on that much of a habit change. But I can take on 5-minute habit changes. I can't take on 20 5-minute habit changes, but I can take on a 5-minute habit change. I can take on okay, when I go to the grocery store, I'm not buying this. I am now going to replace it with this. It's not delete, it's replace. And replacing is way easier than just deleting. So.
Yes. Yeah. That is what I love about Positive Prime, that presentation that you're talking about, that transformative tech tool that I'm absolutely in love with, because it does kind of scale to fit the time that you have available. Mm-hmm. And getting started is the most important part. Yeah. And you mentioned too, in reference, and I want people to understand that, a big part of your practice, a big part of your special secret power is understanding that point of being so maxed out, of just being at your threshold. You really have worked with clients and seen your own way back from that state of adrenal fatigue, from being so stretched thin, that a lot of people don't see any potential to bring in any change at all. They don't feel like they have any capacity left. And so I do want to shine a light on that, because you have a powerful ability to relate to that place and say, yes, I get it. And here's what you can do, and here's why it's going to be worth it. So come with me and trust me for a minute until you can see the difference for yourself. And that's the power of Lana's perspective and experience, because she speaks to that so beautifully and powerfully. So I want to make sure people resonate with that. It can be hard to put a workshop on the calendar, but that's why you have 3 dates to choose from, to get yourself in a seat for 90 minutes and take in some of this information and let some shift happen.
Yeah. And you're right in that it is a workshop. It's takeaways that are as doable as I can possibly make them, quick wins. And and provide a community. If people are interested afterwards, great, fine. But more so, I want some quick wins and to support as we move through this time, so that we're happier and healthier, and we just feel better. It's not a persona. We just feel better. And that's part of it.
Here's to that. Authentically feeling better, not feeling like we've just got to paste a happy face on and keep on charging through business as usual.
More makeup, more lipstick. No.
Nope. And I want to tell people too, be sure to join Lana's community online on Facebook. Empowering Health Journeys, I believe, is also the name of the group where people can join in the conversation. So stay plugged in for information and insights and amazing interviews there as well. Lana's a fantastic interviewer and summit host. And I know you're joining our friend Stephanie Vaderstrand on her summit coming up. So stay plugged in on all the juicy stuff coming up.
Yes. Yeah. Please.
Beautiful. Empowering
Cool.
Health Journeys with Lana Kirtley. Do yourself a favor.
Come on over.
Awesome. Thank you, Lana, for making some time to hop online with me. I hope that everyone has got the link. It's in the comments. I shared it in the banner as well, and I'll circle back and make sure it's there. We'll answer any questions that come up. So hit us up with those. Let us know if you caught the replay. Post your question, and we will come back around and answer those. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Lana.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a great day.
Take care.